We moved in back in 1964 when Daddy came home from the Army. He retired and he had purchased the home in 1958 while living in France. And so this was always his place he was going to come back to, he was going to come home to. And he collected antiques from all over the world while he was traveling in the Army and just had them shipped here. And so when he came back, he added on rooms and with the intention of opening it up for a place of hospitality. I mean, they had dinners and events and all kinds of things going on in this home. So I grew up here, but then my husband and I did not purchase the house until 2010. And at that point, we were trying to figure out what we were going to use it for. Our children were grown, we didn't really need a family home. And so it became really obvious fairly quickly that we would have a bed and breakfast. And so that's what we've been doing, you know, since 2010. Favorite areas is a small little dining room. It's just this little jewel in the middle of the house, and it's tiny, but it's a great place to welcome guests in and give them an aperitif, or if it's a small dinner party with just 2 or 3 people, or 4 people, we'll serve them in there, and it has sort of a French flavor about it. It's very ornate, but it's very intimate and quiet, and it's a little bit dark and romantic. So a lot of people, especially guests that have been here, they love to have their dinners in there or their breakfast in there because it's charming, kind of old world. I mean, you don't see that kind of a room anymore, but it's one of my favorites because it's just like a little jewel. I love it. And then the people, our guests, like to go into the living room, and it's large, but it feels intimate, and so there's a lot of fun conversation in there, and we have little different groups of people that cluster in there from time to time, and it makes it a great room to just enjoy conversation, but it's also overlooking the porch, so there's a lot of sunlight that comes in. We open the windows, and it feels like there's like a one great expanse between the living room and the front porch, which makes it great for entertaining. This is probably one of the largest lots, and it goes down to the street, and there are really no houses around us, which makes it really nice. And you have a view of the golf course, and then in the winter you can see the ridge across the way, and it's really, really beautiful. One of the great things about the house is the flexibility it has, and we have a separate entrance that we've used for the bed and breakfast, which makes it great because we have our privacy. Guests can come and go as they please. We've thought about what would it be like for someone else to live in this house, and I think one of the great things is it could be for a multi-generational family, for in-laws to be living here, or whatever, grown children that are coming home, but they would have their own private entrance. And it could easily be, converted into a separate, almost an apartment of sorts. So they would have their privacy, and yet they would still be under the same roof. And it would have a real family feel, but have your distinct areas too, which is really nice. There's a sitting room down there. We created that within the space that was there, and so that gives people a place to gather and have their morning coffee, or whatever. And we have Wi-Fi down there, and so it really made it self-sufficient. People love the quiet down there. If they wanted to come up and visit with us, they could. They were more than welcome to, or go out onto the porch. But they always felt like they had a sense of home, and that we really wanted people to feel like they were coming home. I love our front porch. It's big and expansive, and it looks out onto the prayer garden, which is just a wonderful little secluded, kind of a walled garden on the side of the house, and it's just beautiful over there with hydrangeas, and it's just a real sweet private place. We have people that go out there and journal, or they'll go out there and take pictures, or they'll go out there and take their blankets and lay down on the grass, and then they have that overlooking the front lawn, which is really nice. We have private patios if someone wants to get away from everybody and just still be outside. We have a nice little private back patio that people can go to, and it's kind of surrounded by little areas that you can enjoy outside, which I love. And it is private. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of neighbors, so it's a real fun place. There's a flat area that we get out there with our boys, and they used to play badminton out there, croquet, and so there's some great spaces to actually have family activities, and I love that too.